Greetings, this is Chris, and today we're going to do something a little different from Fallout 4. We're going to play some Cities Skylines. This game's been out about a year now, and it really is really fun. I've never actually got to the point where I've built an enormous city in this game because I'm far too fond of the early stages where you tweak roads and manipulate your initial buildings. But we're going to see how we can do with this today. So we're going to start a new game. And we're going to go for the Islands map, which is one I don't think I've really played on before. And I guess we'll stick with the random name we've been given there. So this will be the city of Westvalley. Let's see how it goes. So here we are in Westvalley. Let's take a look at it. Kind of interesting starting point. At this point early in the game, we can't access the resources map, but we can sort of see that this is going to be farmland. And this area here could contain some minerals, so we'll consider that later on when we get to industry. We're going to pause, of course, and then... I've never seen that before. What on earth is that? Some sort of train station. And then we're going to have a quick look and make our mind up about how we're going to build the city. Obviously bearing in mind that we might want to build some farm over here, and that if you put dirty industry close to water, it will start to pollute it. For your information, I'm playing the game with the After Dark expansion, but I don't have the Snowfall expansion. I understand that it adds the ability to provide heating to your citizens, and in addition you can play on some snowy maps. But, oh, that's so pretty. Honestly, I'm waiting till it's on discount, because it was not that well received. I saw a lot of complaints in forums afterwards about the fact that it was really just adding another layer of unnecessary management, and uninteresting management, which is the main problem. So when the game starts, you can't do anything but build roads. So we're going to build the tiniest possible road, and destroy it, because for some reason that unlocks one-way roads. Because what I want to do really is try to conserve this highway entrance here as a main road that will go through our city in the long run. And I'm thinking that we'll have industry on this side of the map, and we'll have residential on this side of the map next to the water. So what we want to do is try to create as few connections as possible to this main road, and then hopefully we won't get too many traffic clogs in the long run. And we want to keep the area around the main road quite clear as well. So let's start by pulling these roads into alignment. So first of all, we'll add that, and we'll see whether this is in line or not. It is, that's wonderful. We'll do this. We'll of course need to flip it round to match the one-way road. And then either I build, say, a roundabout, which is quite an effective structure for distributing traffic in the early game, or I just build out and establish a junction in the middle. And I think I'm going to build a roundabout. Roundabouts are nice, and it means we can really sort of show the effectiveness of this sort of road structure. But I want to do a bit further out, so let's go all the way to the middle, and then, well, we need to flip this around, and then we need to connect these two parts in the right direction. So yes, we now have the ability to, since they released the anniversary patch, we now have the ability to adjust the amount that we step up in our elevations. So normally, if you're building a road, you can make it go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, like so. And this will basically let you do... Oh, that's underground. Will let you do slightly lesser height. So this is like... That's half height, that's full height. You can also go to, I think, is this quarter? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it looks like quarter height. So you have the half height and the quarter height, which means you can make some much nicer structures. And if you have a sloping map, you can also then play around with those areas to make things fit better. Now, I note actually that the grid is diverging slightly as we go on. That's going to be a bit annoying. but we'll just have to cope. We can always fix it up later when we actually get some money coming in. So, we are playing on right-hand drive. That was silly of me. I'm British. I'm used to left-hand drive. Although I do live in Europe, so hey, it's all the same. But we will need to do this to start this roundabout off, and then we'll have to switch to the curve mode. We'll probably make it nice and large. We can afford it in the early game, and I always like to build it like this to make sure that I have everything correct. And then we'll connect these two up in the middle with a straight. Like so. And flip the polarity of these one-way roads. So now, basically, if you leave the highway, you can join our large roundabout, and you can then leave again. So, this gives us a starting point to build off of. We're going to need some power, of course. We want to stick with wind power. It's very effective, very cheap. And we want to try and put it in these dark blue areas. So we could build it up along this river. This is probably going to be an industrial area anyway, so it could be worth it. Or we could build it along here, but I think I want this area to sort of remain free. I kind of want... I'm imagining this whole area is going to be residential in the long run. So, yeah, let's... these aren't going to last forever either, so it's not really the end of the world if we put them down in a slightly difficult spot. But let's try and put them along the river. I think that will be the nicest possible option. The river will probably become a sort of port later on, so we'll start with some power just there. And then we're going to need to have water coming into the city, so we may as well put that as close to the power plant as possible for convenience. And we're going to need to let the waste out of the city, and I think... Oh, that's an interesting river flow. Huh, it goes all the way down there and then in both directions. So in fact, I want the wastewater to come out all the way over here. Yes, it's going to have to come out all the way down here. That's outside of the city, outside of the city. Here we go, this is inside of the city. How far can we go along? Let's say just there. Right, so we've got our main utilities in place. We'll obviously have to rig up the pipes and stuff in a minute. But we want to start building some more roads and zoning. So, let's do something very straightforward. Let's just have a plain high street coming down the middle of here. So, from the middle of the roundabout, we'll just have a high street that goes all the way to the edge. Now, we could have houses along the coast, or we could have the new port stuff. I don't know which one I'm going to prefer just yet, so I'm going to leave it going only as far as possible. And then we want to build from there a couple of squares in this direction, a couple of squares in this direction. And maybe we'll also... yeah, we'll make it a little loop. This is our city's layout initially. We've got large spaces in the middle, and we can always build across those later by building a road. Or we could use them for facilities or something similar. In fact, what would be nice is to put a little cul-de-sac in. So we'll just build a road up to there. And same over here, I think. Yeah, that's nice. So we actually reduce the amount of traffic going through this main road, even though we're filling up the whole area. So we're going to need residential. We're also going to need a bit of commercial, and I think until I decide what I'm going to do with this area close to the river, I don't know. I don't want to put it there just now. So that's too much. We're going to just put a little bit of commercial along this road here, so like the entrance to town kind of thing. These people are going to need somewhere to work, so we're going to have a road coming off here, but rather than go off into the distance, I'm actually going to keep it quite close to the highway. So, for now, because this gives us the option of connecting directly to the highway later on when the industrial area gets too large to deal with. For now, we'll just do that, and then we'll fill in a big chunk of industrial. Right, so then we just have to set up some power lines. We'll need to go over to this industrial area, and we'll need to go over to the residential area. So let's build to the middle of this roundabout, and then we can have some coming off here, and I'll just check the zone in a minute. And we can have some coming down here to that commercial area. Like so. So then if we check the zones, the industrial isn't close enough, so we'll have to build like this. Ah, damn. Slightly too close. I cut off some squares. Well, we'll get rid of those ones then. Right-clicking gets rid of stuff, so it's very straightforward. And then we just have to do some pipes. Pipes are pretty much going to run the same sort of route, so we'll go straight to the middle of the roundabout. And then we'll go down the high street. And for the industrial, I think we'll run like so. Here we're going to need, well, we're going to need more than one connection, so we'll do this. And we also need to hook up the waste supply, of course. So, there we go. We have everything connected to power and waste, so we can now go back up top and set the game running. And hopefully, people will start to move in. Or have I made a horrible mistake? I have not connected up these two somehow. Huh. Okay, let's fix that. There we go. The residential might get upset that there isn't power immediately, but it should be okay. Here's Chirper telling you what's going on in the city. Of course, there's really nothing going on at the moment, but hey. And one of the nice things about the game is that... Oh, I didn't put power into that. Ah, okay, well that's actually going to force my hand then. I think I'm going to build another block of residential down to here then. Because I need the waste pipe to be connected to power, otherwise people will really not be happy. Yes, and one of the nice things about this game is that, to start with, you don't have everything immediately introduced to you. So at the start you can see we can barely build anything. We can build zones, we can change our budget ever so slightly. Not very much. We're actually losing a ton of money at a... Oh, what? There's not enough power? Is that... Did I not connect the power up? No, that's powered, that's powered. So now I've got this problem that this is not powered properly because I didn't hook it up. So we'll do that, and then the commercial area, if it starts to kick off, we can delete again. But without power, people are going to get quite upset. So, people move in. Once we get to a certain threshold, which is marked by this, 400 people, then the game will say, okay, your village is growing, you can do a few more things now, we'll let you. And that's nice. I like that. It means that if you're new to the game, you don't get overwhelmed. And it also gives a sense of organic growth. You see, once we had people move in, we then had some businesses move in here. And once those guys have moved in, we'll have some commerce move in because they have products they want to sell. So we have a lovely box factory. Very nice. I'm going to get a lot of helper text, incidentally. I don't remember if there's a way to turn that off conveniently, but we'll leave it on for now, anyway. So we've got a little bit of commercial. Yeah, we've got a drugstore. That's very nice. And this power supply now, if we look at the power situation, we see now that this small amount of power is just not because this is connected to the blue zone that surrounds all the buildings. This game still sounds quite loud, actually. I'll have to see how it sounds after recording. But, yeah. Here are our people. If you're careful, you can actually spot them. Anybody around? It's just such a nice level of detail. And yes, as the game reminds us there, you're allowed to rename things. You can rename houses, you can rename people. You can rename seagulls if you spot them. But it actually doesn't give you any way to keep track of things, so you'll need a mod for that. But there are some available. Plug, I wrote one of them. I'm actually going to make this road into a little cul-de-sac again. Because I quite like the little aesthetic that has. And yeah, if We want people to move in. We want growth. It's going to take some time, though. Once industry starts coming in, then we'll have more jobs and then more people will come in. But we'll plan for the future. Like so. Oh, interestingly, there's a gap in the middle there. I guess because of the slope. The slope distorts the grid slightly, so we can't actually build across that middle gap. That's fine, I can put a little pedestrian path there or something nice. Once we get those unlocked anyway. So the industrial's taking off. Almost filled the area, but I think they're going to want more. So let's continue growing the industrial zone. Almost all the way down to the main road. Now at this point, if you're in a factory here, you've got to ship all the way up here, then go round the roundabout, and then all the way back down there, which is just silly really. So what I want to really do is create an easy entrance onto the highway. And I'm going to do that pretty simply. I'm just going to put a road there. So now there is a one-way connection straight onto the highway, which means that people can deliver trucks, delivery trucks, sorry, can immediately hook up to there. People are complaining about the water situation, but that should resolve itself. Okay, it's not resolving itself because... Oh no, it just did. So someone built a house, the blue zone of power extended, and that powered the sewage pump there. So good. How are we doing for people? 249. Not too bad. Yes. The other thing we might want to do, having created an emergency, a shortcut to get back onto the highway, is to maybe give the trucks a way to get to the industry without having to go all the way up here, all the way around the roundabout, and all the way down here again. So for that, we'll do something quite similar to what we had just there, but we're going to use height and curvature to our advantage. So we're going to build a sort of a little overpass, basically. We'll do this, and then we'll do this. And we'll build a little overpass. This needs to be straight. You can switch between road modes at any time, and it's very convenient. Build a little overpass, and then we need to come down, and we need to connect back up to the main road. So, like so. And in fact, now people have to drive all the way down here to get back onto it. No, that's fine, that's fine. We could have connected it over here somewhere, but I think actually having the entrance just here and the exit there is fine for now. Maybe later on, if we continue to grow this area out this way, we'll want to centralize these connections so that there's a minimum distance between any given factory and the main road. So yeah, now if you're a truck delivering to industry, you can come off this road here, go over the overpass, and then you can find your way between these factories. So, how's our demand looking? Quite low. Might turn up the game speed a bit, so we can get to the point where we have 400 people. Money's not really a problem in this game. You're almost always making a profit, unless you deliberately choose to drop the taxes. I mean, I could drop taxes right now to try and encourage people to come in, because, yeah, I want to get faster to the 400 people level, but honestly, I have places without jobs right now, so I think I can wait. Maybe the commute time's a bit long. You've got to go all the way along here, around the roundabout, down to there, but again, I don't really think that's a big deal. What I might do actually is grow the industry up here, and then once this actually thrives, we can get rid of this power line and grow up the other side as well. So then our industrial zone will basically be everything on this side of the main road. To start with, your industry is just generic. It's factories and processing units, but as the game goes on and you unlock new things, you can specialise in certain kinds of industry. So we will hopefully be able to specialise in some farming at some point. But we'll have to keep that far away from this industry, because industry causes pollution, and nobody likes that. But we made it. We have a population of 400. Now we can actually do stuff with the tax rate. We can take small loans. And we also have to start providing services. Our people want healthcare and education and garbage, so we have these buildings available to us. So, first things first, let's deal with the garbage. I am thinking this roundabout will continue, the road will continue on like this. I want the garbage to be somewhat... Garbage can't be moved once it's built unless you build another garbage unit, empty it, empty the existing one into that, and then you can delete it. So only empty garbage areas can actually be removed. So wherever I put this, it's kind of going to be there for a while. And on that basis, this is actually a really nice little corner because it's close to the industry and it's close to the roundabout, so everyone can get back into the main town. So yeah, I think this is going to delete the power lines. We'll see whether that has an effect. Let's check the power situation. Ah, no, we're fine. So in fact, we can delete that. We can continue to expand our industrial zone, and we now have garbage services. And oh no, the power doesn't connect. No, just misses it. Okay, hang on then. Power is still quite fiddly. That's the one thing I would complain about. Fiddly power. That should reach. Go on, be inside the blue zone. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Good. Right, meanwhile, back in the town, people would like to go to school. So we're going to build them a little elementary school, and I want to put this somewhere where they can get to very easily. We could put it just here. I think that's reasonable. So we'll have a little school. Everybody likes that. And we also have a health clinic we need to put down. Health clinic near the school would make some sense. I don't understand why you're not getting power. Are we low on power? Ah, yes. We actually have reached the point where we're using too much power, so we need to build another wind turbine. Can't build them too close to each other, but just get it right next to it. Right next to it, and still along the main river, so it looks nice. Yeah, to start with, you'll have to build quite a few windmills before you get to the next stage of windmill, which is has a lot more power associated with it. So, this health clinic. Maybe on this corner? I just want to start a building there, but... Sorry, house that was about to be built there. I think the health clinic makes sense just there. And there's a bit more demand for residential, so... Since we just built that school, why not build some more residential in this direction? So we'll go 2 blocks this way. 3 down here. I'm making it pretty blocky for now, but obviously at some point we're going to hit the river. And at that point I may have to lose the structure, but at least for now the structure's doing its job. And this time, instead of building this, I think what I want to do is build something that goes like this, but not all the way in. Because what I have planned for the middle is like a little park, I think. We'll build a connection. Once we unlock parks, we'll build a nice little connection here. There's going to be some room either side of the school to build little paths, and in fact, yeah, let's go one shorter than that. If you delete something quick enough, you get the money back for it. So yeah, if we build one shorter than that, then we'll have paths coming from the school to the roads, and we'll build a park in the middle here, and that will be lovely. So yes, let's zone some more residential, like so. Not much commercial demand still, right now. I didn't rezone that bit. That will provide a little bit of space for any shops that might want to come in. And we can start to see that the sun is setting. My controls are not the same as they should be. Zoom. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in. Tilt. Tilt back. No? Okay. Okay, fix that key mapping now. I didn't know why it was set the way it was, but this makes sense. So now I can go all the way down, and we can see the boats in the distance. Isn't that lovely? Ah. And at the start of the game you only have this one square to build in, but once you get to a certain size again, you can pick surrounding areas to expand into. So if I were to expand in this direction, I'd get a large highway to deal with, so it's not the best choice. This direction gives me the highway as well, but at least I have a nice island to play with. Over here, yeah, more highway, but some mountains, and over here might be the most free area. There's going to be a train line possibly connecting to it. You can have a look like this, in fact. Hasn't been unlocked yet, but yeah, there might be a train line connecting to it here. But still, it's got this mountain area and plenty more space for expansion. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Usually I like to build densely in the area we have to begin with before expanding too much. And the game has a lovely pace, like, you know, your demand's low right now, you can take up time, think about things, decide where you want to put stuff. There's no hurry. People move in. People want places to go shopping, apparently. Yeah, I don't want to build too close to the roundabout with the actual town, but I imagine at some point I will expand in this direction once commerce really takes off. But mostly I'd like to... Oh, I accidentally zoned part of those things. I want to de-zone. To de-zone you just right-click, and you can de-zone the same way you zone. So I actually want to de-zone those squares there because I want those to be free for paths. And probably the same here as well. Sorry, house getting built. You'll have to think again. Try something different. And I think now, the game's been running a little while, we should see some people. Yep, there's a little guy on a scooter. Oh, too fast for me. There's somebody. Oh, they went inside the house. Yeah, I like this. I like this little design of Culs-de-Sac. It gives it a real sense of community. So you can follow people around. This guy's probably going home. It says so there. Where does he live? Here? 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 Oh, over the road. Nope. I don't understand. Ah, I see. He just decided to go all the way around there instead of crossing the road over here. Yeah, I may want to build a little path between the main road and these cul-de-sac so our people can get across, but yeah, again, once we unlock parks. So, not much demand still. Okay, we've reached the point where we need yet more power, so time for a third wind turbine. I can't afford it, but frankly I don't really want to build a coal plant anyway. It's pollutive, and although it does produce a lot of power, the power it produces is less efficient. And besides, we just made it up to Worthy Village, and every time you get to an achievement, you get given a ton of money. In fact, you can check your achievements now. That's a new feature they've added. I don't have that many of them because, as I say, I've really just played the very early stages of the game repeatedly because I like the way that the initial expansion goes. It's not that I don't like the later game, it's just I've never really got there, if you see what I mean. And I've never seen that before either. That must be from the Night Life expansion or whatever it's called. After Dark, there we go. So now we can expand into a new area if we want to. We can also build districts, I'll get onto those in a minute, and now people are going to start wanting fire protection and police protection, but we can also specialise certain kinds of industry, so as we expand we don't have to build pollutive manufacturing. We also have some policies which interplay with the district. So we just built some more power there, very good. Budget's nice and healthy. Hopefully these power symbols go away, yes, good. And people want a fire department? Probably. Best place for a fire department is somewhere near industry. I'm going to build it right on the edge of town. It's tempting to build it actually on the roundabout, but then I feel like they have to go all the way around to get to stuff, whereas at least here they can choose which direction they go in. So we'll build it right on the edge of town, just there. It's just within the power supply, good. And people are probably going to want a police department as well, but I can't afford that right now, so it's just going to have to wait. And besides, crime's not usually a big deal until you get a much larger town. So, districts, yes. So districts work like so. You can paint a district. So let's say we're going to paint our district here. It snaps to the corners of roads and junctions, so you can actually paint quite a smooth district, fortunately. So, it's almost a shame you can't just sort of pick anchor points and have it fill the area in between, because I actually don't like it when that happens. I have to fiddle with it until I'm happy. See? Get nice and straight. There's no point in caring about the river so much, but... yeah, so this is our district. It's got a name. It's called Applegate Square. And you can make a sub-district within that if you want. I just made Applegate District within this Applegate Square. How silly. Or you can expand this one. So this is going to be Applegate Square. And if you go to policies, you can select a district. You can rename it. So I'm going to call this the Town Centre. And you can also choose policies for them, so you can tell them to conserve energy, tell them to conserve water, reduce their chance of fire. But, you know, these things cost money, and I don't have much money right now, so we're going to leave it. The real power comes in the industrial districts. So if we go back to the district tool, you can see that we have this industrial district tool, specializations. We can currently make farming, and we can make generic, which is what we've got over there, and we can also make forestry. Now, these two are less polluting than that one, but we have to see whether or not we have the ability to do this. So we can go to the natural resources mode, and we can see that we have lovely farmland around here. So if we wanted to build a nice bit of farming, it would be best over here. We also have a reasonable amount of forest over here, so that would attract some forestry, but compared to, say, over here, it's not as dense. This black area is oil, and this blue area is ore, or minerals. So, in fact, these mountains have no minerals in them at all. It's all on the other side. Strange. Oh, and our city's starting to improve, yes. So buildings have levels. Residentials, for instance, have 5 levels. And as you improve services, and the sort of area becomes nicer, and the people become wealthier, they upgrade and become better. So they can house more people and provide you with more tax. I think since the demand for residential is so high, we're going to have to expand in this direction now. We'll probably do something similar to what we did over there, but actually I'm going to copy the Culs-de-Sacs. So, do this way. Sticking with the grid for now again. We may go off-grid for this part. It's actually much nicer to create cities that are off-grid, but it can be very fiddly to get right. So what I might do is do that for now, and then fill it with a residential. So that's our new residential zone with more cul-de-sac. And then after that, I will actually do something slightly different for this area if we still need to expand. Commerce wants to expand as well, so we'll do that. And we may also want to build... I want to avoid building off another connection onto this main road, so what I will do is do something like this, and we will build a bit more commercial around here. Sort of like an industrial, well, it's not industrial, a sort of commercial park area. So we'll do that, and we'll do that. So this provides us with a nice bit of industry. It's like a shopping centre. I'll actually delete that area because the power lines are getting in the way, so we can't build there anyway. So that'll do for a little expansion of commerce. Industry, not much demand. That means that probably everybody has a job right now. But that's fine, we want people to have jobs. The roundabout is working pretty well. There's no serious traffic snags right now. I do note that I've actually placed the garbage dump in a bit of an awkward position because if I wanted to upgrade this road later in the game so it has more capacity, I will have to... it needs more space, and there is absolutely no space next to the garbage dump, so that's a bit awkward. I could possibly try something involving getting these two roads closer together in the middle, and then I'd be able to shift this entire curve to the left, and that might work. Oh, I forgot to connect the pipes up. That was silly. Always connect up the pipes. The initial pump you get is just fine, like you're never going to have a problem. We've got plenty of water and sewage available. Power is already becoming another problem, so let's build another windmill before we get another report that there's no power. Just there. That's good, we have the money for it. So the only thing we haven't really provided our people with right now is a police headquarters, so we are actually getting a little bit of crime. Oh my god. What crime is this? Crime rate is high. Oh dear. Something about this burger place is attracting terrible crime. Probably loitering teens. Well, as I said before, the police station is kind of expensive, so it's not going to happen just now. Sorry, people of Applegate Square. Oh, sorry, I renamed it the town centre, didn't I? Yeah, we're going to expand the town centre district as well for now. I mean, really these districts are a tool for you to be able to make certain areas of your city behave differently. So if you have an area that's very nice, you can deliberately exclude certain things that would bring the area down. So you could make a very, very posh area with lots of subsidies on public transport and... I mean, let's have a look at the policies list actually. You can make a very nice area which says, you know, lots of education, lots of parks and recreation. Just blurred that, that's wonderful. Or you can make a horrible place where you insist that everybody saves power and saves water and you can't have pets and so on. So we've made a tiny town now. At this point we unlock the newest feature from the anniversary patch, landscaping. This means you can build hills and you can build trenches and you can just generally edit the map, which is awesome. We'll have parks, finally, and we get a whole selection of new paths available to us. We can also build canals and quay. I want some quay along the side of this river, so that's wonderful. And we will also have the ability to educate people further with a high school, and we've unlocked all these nice parks, so that's wonderful. This is probably one of the better unlocks at this point. I like when your city gets to this level. It's one of my favourite points, because you get to build lovely parks. Ah, basketball court, that's nice. So the thing I want to build is, in fact, it's under landscaping now, isn't it? I want to build little, just walking paths. What's the difference between these things? Pedestrian path, walking path, cycle path. Only bikes are allowed on these paths. Well, I don't want a cycling only path, so we'll just have the path that goes like so. Like so, and like so, and then in the middle of that, well, I think we unlocked better roads? No, we haven't. To be able to build a park, you actually need a piece of road, but I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to pause there, find a park that fits into that space. Too big. You can't tell how big they are from the thumbnails, unfortunately, so it's a bit hit and miss. So we got a lovely Japanese park. Yes, that's beautiful. I love it. So we've got a little Japanese garden just there. But then, I'm going to destroy this road, go back to the pathing, and we're going to... oh, yes. So as night falls on Westvalley, we're going to call this apart here, and we'll come back next time to continue expanding our little tiny town, put in some nice waterfront area with the new quay feature, and then we'll see about extending this main road and getting to the other side of the river. I'm thinking that we'll expand in the long run in this direction and this direction. So that should give us plenty of options for building different kinds of industry and the like. So, hope you enjoyed this. I certainly have enjoyed getting back to City Skylines. Let me know what you think in the comments. So long, see you next time, and goodbye.